Hello guys, I am welcome to Unmasked by Totech Wisdom, where we unlearn, relearn, and become. Do you know who you are? Like, have you considered this question before? Like, who am I? Or if you've considered it, have you also considered an answer such as you referring yourself to this body or your mind? Today, I want to disrupt your sleep. I want to disrupt you from being a sleepwalker. I want to wake many of us that are dead walker, that don't know who they are, that don't know what they are, that cannot fathom it, is the easiest and the most hardest things in our life to know. Knowing who you are, knowing what you are, is one of the things that haunt us so much in this existence. It comes with, why are we here? If you don't know who you are, you cannot get why we are here. You cannot. And if you don't know who you are, you will be susceptible to being deceived by anybody. At the same time, you are not going to trust anybody because you don't trust yourself. You don't know what you are. So definitely, you cannot trust anybody. You will always have doubting mind about anything. And easily, you will also be at the same time gullible to believe anything. Just that every now and then, you will be changing your belief as you are encountering new informations. So, it is not our fault that we don't know who we are. It is not our fault that everything messes up. It's as a result of the conditioning, the domestication we pass through from our parents. They can never tell us to be ourselves when we are little. Be somebody, be this, be that. Even giving us name to try to be one of the prominent people, to reflect prominent people, the people they want us to be. You see, so from very little, we've had this image, we've had this perfect image of the ideal person we are supposed to be. The person that is going to satisfy the mom, that is going to satisfy the dad, the person that is going to fit into the society. But we are not that person. Every now and then when we come short of that person, we judge ourselves. We blame ourselves. Because we don't know who we are. Every now and then, we patch that ideal person, that ideal image, we patch it as we are having new information. That, okay, till now, many people die without knowing who they are. No wonder we feel like we are an alien in this existence. We usually feel like we are being punished, like this is a mystery. There is no way it's not going to be mystery if you don't know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you cannot know anything sincerely, because that is the first thing. How we are missing it, I don't understand. Once you know who you are, it's going to look so stupid, so absurd that there was a time we didn't know. I'm telling you. And it's so, there are only few people that know who they are in all this existence, dead and alive. Few people. but it's worth it. It's worth it, whatever you can do. Because anything you do without knowing who you are will be as a result of automatic response, will be as a result of a borrowed knowledge. Sincerely, many of us, we are acting like zombies, mechanically, automatically, doing things the routine. We don't know why we are doing all those things. We don't even know all these things are automatic, that we are not choosing all those things we think we are choosing. Collins Winson, in one of his books, he was talking about, he was not saying it directly, but he was talking about us human beings as robots. You know, like when you start learning a car, after learning a car, the body will take over. Your robot part, your conscious part will take over. So most of us, we are robots. I'm telling you. And it's not because of anything, because we are sleeping. We are not awake. We are not aware. So whatever comes, that is it, whatever comes. So have you considered this question? If you have considered it, that you are still seeking answer, good. Because definitely you are going to get the answer. There is possibility of you getting it soon. You are sleepwalking already. But if you've never considered this question, if you've never considered it at all, you are a dead walker. I'm not attacking you. It's not, it is what it is. And most of all these things I'm saying, majority can only understand until when you know yourself. I swear. You can understand some of them now intellectually, but you cannot understand it deeply, existentially. You cannot understand it that way. Because who you are is you. Is the only absolute reality that you know, that you can be sure of. It is the only absolute reality that I can be sure of. How am I going to describe what you have for you if you cannot know who you are? How are you going to trust me then if you cannot know who you are? Do you get it? I know who I am. I am the force that lights every other thing, that gives meaning to every other thing, that powers every other thing, the board that every other thing displays, the board that every other thing appears and disappears. Since you know yourself, have you ever disappeared? But every other thing you know always appear and disappear. They are all illusion, just like your mind and your imagination. You are the only reality and you are the only evidence. You cannot name it because it is who you are. It's very difficult to describe. It is what you are already. You are the universe. You are God. You are the pillar. Those are the few words we can use to just describe you. They don't still mean it because it is what you are. That is what is in cat. That is what is in the river. That is what is in the tree. That is the existence. Whatever, even this body that happens to be the closest organism that you are using, you can see that every now and then it changes. It changes. When this body is going to die, you are not going to know. Sincerely, you are not going to know in the sense of knowing this body the way it is. You will be back to existence, stillness, silence, where you came from. Where humans, we are not, this body that you see is not a big deal. It is not. The big deal is what is behind this body. That is the big deal. That is the higher frequency that you have. And once you get it, you can understand it intellectually, but once you get it, and how to get it is through meditation. Meditation is not going to really give you answer, but meditation is going to help you to reduce the activities in your mind, because the mind is the problem, is the barrier that is blocking you from knowing who you are, from knowing how powerful you are. You understand? So once you are able to now create a space between yourself and your mind, definitely you will get it. You will just, it will become obvious to you one day. It's not like using, because it's beyond the mind. It is what is making the mind to work. It is like when a fish is inside ocean, and that same fish is looking for the ocean. That is the same way if you want to use mind to know who you are. No, mind cannot know what is making the mind to work. Yes, mind cannot know what is making the mind to work. So you have to go beyond the mind, and the only way to go beyond the mind is through all these many techniques of meditation that you can do, just to reduce the activities of the mind, just to be detaching, just to be knowing what you are not, just to be knowing that all these things that is happening in your mind, they are just thinking. They don't exist outside your thinking. You understand? So knowing all this will help you to get to the ultimate, the absolute, the Alpha and Omega, the God, which you are. Many people also call it soul. So that is it. Immediately you know who you are, there is no more guessing, there is no more suffering. You will come to understand a lot of things, because that is what knowing. From that moment, you will be knowing things very, very easily. The narrator in your head will quiet down. That narrator, that when you still see red, he's still going to tell you red, he's still going to read Yurugu for you. As you are listening to me, that narrator is still narrating what you are listening directly. Those are the products of, those are the consequences of not knowing who you are. Yes, of not knowing who you are. You argue with yourself a lot of time. You second guess everything. You argue with what you see a lot of time, because a lot of people are saying they are seeing different things. And you see what you are seeing like this. But because many people are doing other things, and you betray what you are seeing, is as a result of you not knowing who you are. Yes, it's as a result of you not knowing who you are. So if we try as much as possible, do some meditation. You don't need a lot of force, because it is what you are already. You just forgot. So it's not going to take time. And don't have any image. Delete all the image, all that image, all this fake perfection you used to front for people that you are. No, drop all. You have to drop all them. Drop all attachments. Drop everything. Be naked. From that, you will know who you are. You will see yourself as the witness, the knower that know the knower, the experiencer. All these are just descriptions that can never really mean the reality of what I'm saying, because it is who you are. I'm still going to have another episode on this to finish it, and I really hope this really helped you, as I always say, as it has helped me.